How's everybody doing? Okay. So to start here, we're going to do something a little different. I want to do a bit of visualizing to start, okay? You got it? So just close your eyes and listen to what I'm saying and just try to picture this in your head, okay? Okay, let's do it. So picture yourself at your 7th birthday party. You're sitting at the table while your mom or dad is bringing over your cake, and everyone's singing happy birthday. They still sing happy birthday as they bring your cake over, and you blow your candles out. Life is good, and you feel like you're on top of the world because it's your birthday. But then, all of a sudden, another cake comes in, and then you have to start singing happy birthday again to someone else on your own birthday. It sounds kind of rough, right? I've had 17 years of it, so ask me how I feel. My name is Jack Parks. Welcome to my TED Talk. Today, we're going to be discussing growing up and finding your individuality as a twin. So if you didn't know by now, I'm a fraternal twin with my sister Abby. Here's us when we were born. Fraternal twins account for around 75% of twin births, actually. And believe it or not, fraternal twins can actually have very different personalities and characteristics because they only share 50% of their DNA. A good example of this came at an early age in my childhood, around 4 or 5, when my mother decided it would be a good idea to sign us up together for dance classes. Abby was the real dancer of the two of us, but because we were twins, it was expected that we would enjoy the same activities, and we were kind of forced into this together. Another unique part of our birth is our actual age difference, because when people meet the both of us together, they always have to ask, so who is actually older? And I always sigh at this question because Abby is older than me by about a minute, which is pretty ridiculous to begin with. When we grew up together, we developed pretty differently as kids because I could walk before her, yet she could talk before me. If you look up here, this is me pushing her around in this trolley scooter we had around the house, so I was basically her chauffeur as a toddler. The interesting part about it, though, is that has done a complete 180 if we go to today, because she drives me to school every day. I have to get that G2. Oh, my goodness. I think one interesting thing about twins that I've learned is that there's a lot of interesting myths that come with being a twin. And I'll start with the most obvious one that many of you have probably heard about or seen being referenced, with twins having a special telepathy, where they know what each twin is thinking, and sometimes they have a secret language to communicate with each other. I'm here to come out and tell all of you right now that this is most definitely incorrect. I can't read Abby's mind, she can't read my mind, and we definitely don't have a secret language to communicate with each other. I don't think either of us would particularly enjoy that, except for me when I'm writing math tests, because it would be an absolute game changer to have my sister around. I think the other students writing the tests would be slightly uncomfortable, though, because imagine if I was sitting at my desk and I got into an argument with my sister in my head, and I would just be sitting there in a dead silent room just going, Abby, it's B, I know what I'm doing. Abby, I know what I'm doing. And I would just be sitting there just yelling at myself. Another classic twin theory that I think you guys have probably heard about before is there always has to be a good twin and an evil twin. I think my sister and I have shared a good amount of good and evil moments as children, and if you were to ask my mother, she would say that I had more evil moments on a physical level because I would constantly find ways to instigate a fight with my sister, yet she had more evil moments on a verbal scale because she was a yeller, let me tell you. In order for us to become our own people, we couldn't really fall under these stereotypes as children, and it really helped us out. Before I got to Ashbury, I attended a small Catholic school by the name of Corpus Christi in my neighborhood. Abby and I were in the same classes together all the way through, from kindergarten to grade 6. My mom requested for this, actually, because she believed it would be important for us to support each other growing up, and studies have shown that twins who stay together in their early schooling years actually have better reading scores. So when I headed off to Ashbury after grade 6, I faced a huge culture shock for myself. I know, look at that height difference. Oh my goodness. I faced a huge culture shock for myself. Most of my classes were without Abby, and I had to start carving out my own path in the junior school. Sometimes I really wanted to enjoy the experience with her, and I always wanted to make sure I was there to support her. I remember in the spring of 2018, we headed off to Colombia for a regional round square conference. And I remember telling my Barraza group leaders that I had traveled here with my twin sister. And I got the same reaction from everyone I met. Oh my goodness, you guys are twins? You must do everything together. That's so sweet. This is also similar to those situations when Abby and I are referred to as the twins. It makes it literally impossible for me to find my individuality when I'm called that because my identity is practically tied to the other person. And that's when I realized I wanted to change. I was ready to find my own individuality as a twin. I think if I were to compare my life to any movie ever made, the choice is pretty obvious, and I have to go with Jack and Jill, the classic Adam Sandler flick that looks at two twins as adults and how they realize that their lives have completely changed since they've grown up. I would expect this to become reality in my adult life, because wouldn't it make sense for the guy twin to turn into the rich, handsome, kind, smart, successful gentleman, while the girl twin turns out to be the annoying and awkward and obnoxious one that's always causing a scene? I think either way, that movie sums up a lot in my life, because it goes to show that twins who grow up together are kind of forced to live their lives side by side, but as they grow older, they're finally able to spread their wings and discover their true potential. I always like to think about the idea that Abby and I's situation could have been a lot worse. Imagine if we were born as identical twins of the same gender. Just think about that for 1 second. If we looked exactly the same and we were the same gender. Whew. Anyways, or even if we were born as fraternal twins of the same gender, then we would just be associated with everything together. I think we are unique in our situation that we are fraternal of different genders, but it goes to show that twins can still experience the same struggles. And what I like about my situation now with Abby is we both understand that after high school, we're going to be heading off in our own separate paths in different directions. But because Ashbury has blessed me with the right tools to succeed, I've really been able to rediscover myself and find the best version of Jack Parks. And I'm always so lucky to have a sister like Abby. And I know that no matter where life takes me, I know that I've got her back and she's got mine. Thank you.